On Billboard tonight, we talk to young singer-songwriter about her first album, a local author about her first novel, and take a look at some of the great festivals you can visit over the summer. Good evening and welcome to Billboard with me, Ted Stanley, for a roundup of theatre, music, art and literature across the Humber region. The debut book of local author Karen Warren is a gripping tale of friendship, destiny and duty in the 13th century court of Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan. Julie Barker went to meet her.
How does it feel to be published?
It's great because it took me 5 years to write this book, including all the research and the planning. And like many authors, I hawked it around lots of agents and publishers before I finally got somebody interested, and it was very exciting.
Wow. How long did it take you to research the book?
Oh, ages, because this is about Kublai Khan and 13th century China, and incidentally also about the travels of Marco Polo, and I didn't know anything about any of those things at all, so I had to do lots and lots of reading, lots and lots of research.
Why that particular period in history?
Well, it was more a matter of I came across the story. I was reading the travels of Marco Polo, and I came across this bit about him escorting the Mongol princess to Persia, and I thought that would make a great short story. So I wrote the short story, and then I thought, I could get a novel out of that. So it was purely by accident.
How easy was it to get published?
I think the problem is that this isn't a particularly well-known period of history, and a lot of the people who write novels about the Mongol Empire write about politics and battles, and actually I'm not very interested in politics or battles. And so this is a novel about women and servants and people who don't always get a voice. So I think therefore I didn't really fit into a particular niche, and that made it just that little bit more difficult.
Karen's new book is available through all good high street and online booksellers. Now, here with his own choice of new book releases, journalist and broadcaster Hugh Richards.
Adam Kay was a junior doctor and is now a comedian. In This Is Going to Hurt, he gives a funny but alarming account of his time working in an NHS hospital. He describes a life of long hours, lack of sleep, poor pay, broken relationships, exhaustion and limited resources. It sounds grim, but in the tradition of Richard Gordon and Doctor in the House, Kay manages to enjoy the comic characters and absurd circumstances of his work. The book is very funny, but it's also a warning about a health service at its limits, not always able to keep its impossible promise. You'll laugh, and then you'll be very careful never to be ill. Tombland is the 7th novel in C.J. Sanson's Shardlake series. As ever, his hero, a hunchbacked barrister in Tudor England, is reluctantly drawn into a murder investigation. This time, the stakes are high. His client is a young princess, soon to be Queen Elizabeth I. The investigation takes him to Norwich, where the establishment is corrupt and the villains are utterly ruthless. Shardlake is a very appealing detective. Among all the period detail of 16th century England, the court intrigue and the religious violence, he observes and deduces with the disappointed hope of Philip Marlowe or Sam Spade. Anthony Beevor is one of our most eminent military historians. In Arnhem, the author of Stalingrad and Berlin the Downfall has assembled primary sources on Operation Market Garden, the Allied attempt to take the bridges of the Lower Rhine in 1944. Famously, they went a bridge too far. In the tradition of the Light Brigade and Dunkirk, the offensive was a heroic failure of the kind the British love to celebrate. It delayed the end of the war, cost the Allies much in blood and treasure, and, as Beevor reveals, mutilated the courageous Dutch population in German reprisals. Beevor has selected contemporary reports from British, American, Polish, Dutch and German witnesses to provide a fascinating insight into what the German general Kurt Student called the last German victory. If you shake a vodka martini rather than stir it, the ice melts too fast and the flavour is diluted. Other than that obvious mistake, James Bond is still the most stylish servant of the Crown. 007 is once again reinvented in Forever and a Day, Anthony Horowitz's second novel about Ian Fleming's suave and savage spy. This is the story of how Bond got his license to kill, replacing a previous 007 killed in Marseille. He fights organised crime, saves the world and gets the girl, all in the pleasant surroundings of the south of France. And of course there is a casino, a chase, glamorous girls, gadgets, and that poorly mixed cocktail. Bond, the world's least secret agent, is on top form in this prequel. Horowitz has imagined the youthful nerve of our favourite spy.
The summer festival season gets underway this month with some great family events across the region. In Louth, the Zero Festival promises a mixture of song, dance and comedy in this annual event. Full details from zerodegreeslouth.org.uk. Hull's Great Malarkey Festival promises to be bigger than ever when it returns to Hull this month with an annual celebration of children's literature. Tony Barker found out more from Festival Director Alan Biacchini.
We've got a big top, a proper circus top, where we'll have the bigger events and author talks and a brass band to finish with and so on. But then we've got other marquees which are different to last year. We've got one for poetry, one with more music, one that's specifically for writing workshops if children want to have a go at writing detective stories or poetry or adventures or dystopian sci-fi, whatnot, then there's a tent where they can go and do just that.
How much of a big ask is it to persuade children to come along and look at literature? Because these days we seem to think they like their computer games more.
It's not just about books, it's about films, it's about television programmes, it's about storytelling. Everyone loves a story.
The festival in East Park is on the 23rd and 24th of June. Tickets are available from the bigmalarkeyfestival.com. If you're missing Glastonbury this year, there's a great family-friendly music festival right on the doorstep. Festival 8, held in Caister, offers a celebration of the senses in a magical setting and music from both local and international artists, including Sam and the Womp. I caught up with festival organiser Sean Atkinson to find out more.
What the noise is all about? Do you really think that swing is here to stay? I'm mighty glad you asked, and I wanted to find out.
Well, Sean, thank you for joining us on Billboard. What a magical place to hold a summer festival.
I've been going to festivals for a very long time. We have a strapline which is, it's a celebration of the senses. For instance, for touch, there's massage, there's yoga, there's Tai Chi. For taste, I think this year we have a noodle bar, we've got the magical tea chest, we have handheld food company from Hull. For hearing, obviously that's music, so we have that. Sight, well, just a little wander around the site and you see what we do visually.
And this is a working farm, isn't it?
It is a working farm, yes. So when the festival's not here, there's animals in the fields, the farmers are working the land, growing crops, potatoes. We really pride ourselves on the fact that it's a family-based festival. So there's lots and lots of things for children to do, for adults to do. Activities ranging from learning bushcraft skills through to craft skills. And then on a Saturday evening, we close all the stages and everybody comes together. We have a fantastic samba band called Sheffield Samba. 1,500 people that come to the festival all converge and we do a big parade around the site. We're delighted to have the Earthbound Misfits and their Misfire group, so there'll be a fantastic fire show.
But the most important thing people want to know about a festival is, what are the toilets like?
Well, the festival toilets, you won't find festival toilets like we have on this site. Again, it's Jane's attention to detail to make things really nice for people.
Well, Sean, thank you for joining us. Good luck with the festival. It sounds absolutely amazing, and I think it's great that the people on the Humberside region have got this festival on their doorstep.
Yeah, it's a great Lincolnshire festival, and I hope you'll join us for the event so you can see in person.
Thank you. Festival 8 is on from the 20th to the 22nd of July. Tickets are available from festival8.co.uk. After the break, we review the latest film releases, talk to Frankie Turton about her new album, and find out what's on Where You Are in box office.
And I wanted to find out what the noise is all about. Do you really think that swing is here to stay? I'm mighty glad you asked. Is it true that swing's another name for jazz? Could be, could be.
Welcome back to Billboard. Coming up on tonight's show, the Bible story on tour and music from Frankie Turton. But first, here with a review of the latest Hollywood film releases is guest presenter, actress Louise Brown. Welcome to Billboard, Louise.
Thank you, Ted. There's a great selection in cinemas this month, including a long-awaited sequel from Pixar and 2 great foreign language films. But first, Deborah Granick's Leave No Trace, starring Ben Foster and Thomasin Harcourt Smith. Teenager Tom and her father live a mysterious existence off the grid in the forests of Portland, Oregon. But their idyllic life is shattered when they are both put into the care of social services. After clashing with their new surroundings, Will and Tom set off on a harrowing journey back to their wild homeland.
I don't want to leave. Same thing that's wrong with you isn't wrong with me.
Where are you guys headed?
I don't think we knew where we were going.
Other new releases include the sumptuous adaptation of Penelope Fitzgerald's novel The Bookshop, starring Emily Mortimer and Bill Nighy, and Rupert Everett's biopic of the last tragic days of Oscar Wilde, The Happy Prince.
There's no mystery so great as suffering. But suffering is nothing when there is love. Love is everything.
2 foreign language films we're seeking out are In the Fade, a woman's search for justice after her husband and son are killed by terrorists, and Sanju, a biopic of the controversial life of Indian actor Sanjay Dutt.
मौसम बिगड़ने वाला है।
Our family film tonight is the long-awaited sequel from Pixar films, Incredibles 2. The Parr family's adventures continue, with Bob Parr struggling to maintain domestic bliss after Elastigirl is given the task of restoring superhero favour among the masses.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
Video releases: Sam Fuller at Columbia from Powerhouse Films, The Addiction from Apple Video, and No Way Out from Eureka Entertainment are also worth a look.
You can see a full review by film critic Paul Lewis of all tonight's films at www.billboardtv.uk. At just 15 years old, East Yorkshire singer-songwriter Frankie Turton has already released her first album. Tony Barker went to meet her.
I actually started off really mainly playing the guitar, and then I moved on to the soprano ukulele, and then I discovered this instrument here, which is sort of a mix of both worlds.
Difficult to climb the pedestal that I built.
Now you're 15, you just launched an album, In Between Forever.
Yeah.
Where did the Frankie story start?
I started really doing musical theatre, and I really wasn't getting much theatre jobs or filming jobs anymore, so I thought I might as well do something in the sort of off period, so I started writing songs.
It's a way I can't help but disagree.
How many tracks on the album? Tell me about it.
I believe there's 12 tracks on the album, and they're all original songs, and on all of them I'm playing the ukulele on them. There are other instruments, but I'm playing the ukulele and singing them.
You chose the title In Between Forever.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, one of the songs on the album is called Forever, and the lyrics are just you and me in between forever. And I thought it was quite a nice phrase, because it's almost like for a second we'll just not be a part of anything. We'll just be sort of alone in ourselves.
The day, and I heard you explain those little things that are just like me, and in that funny little way, I guess that's what made me agree. They love you, I say, and I'd like to be loved like you someday, someday.
You can download Frankie's music and find out where to see her performing at frankieofficial.co.uk. It may not feature the rippling muscles of Charlton Heston, but the greatest story ever toured sees biblical performances from comedian Paul Carenza, theologian Dr. Andrew Ollerton, and musicians Kath Wooldridge and Susie Lopez, when this retelling of the Bible story visits Hull Minster on Friday the 22nd of June.
I wanted to help ordinary people get into this amazing but challenging book, exciting but complicated, and I think we were just trying to wrestle with that.
Let's get back to the key question of crisps. Hey! Who was it who voted for Cheesy Watts this day? Oh, there you go, help yourself. This could actually do some damage, couldn't it?
Tickets available from www.thebiblesociety.org.uk. Now, musical theatre star Janine Ridder joins us for a look at what's on Where You Are in box office.
In Grimsby, the Caxton Theatre have Odin and Son by John Ferguson on the 29th and 30th of June. And from the 14th of July, Di and Viv and Rose, the feel-good comedy about female friendship. A packed lineup of acts at the Grimsby Auditorium includes Kevin and Karen Dance on Saturday, the 23rd of June, and a hilarious romp through the complete works of William Shakespeare on Friday, the 6th of July. You can enjoy a country night in Nashville at the Hull City Hall on Friday the 22nd of June and the Jules Holland Band on Sunday the 1st of June. At the Hull Truck Theatre, you can see comedian Tom Allen on Wednesday, the 20th of June, and a screening in English of Hiramosa Yonebashi, Mary and the Witch's Flower on Saturday, the 23rd of June. The Johnny Cash Roadshow comes to the Plowright Theatre in Scunthorpe on Sunday, the 24th of June. And at the East Riding Theatre in Beverley, She Productions brings you Beverley Does Broadway, from now until Saturday, the 23rd of June.
That's almost all for tonight's show. Next time on Billboard, we meet poet Paul Sutherland, go behind the scenes at an all-female theatre company, and visit a local writers' group. Details of the events featured in tonight's programme can be found at www.billboardtv.uk. If you would like us to feature your own event on Billboard, you can email details to ted@estuary.tv. From everyone on the Billboard team, thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again in July.
On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Let it rip, let it fly. Come on, baby, say it till you think I'm gonna cry. Ain't about to fall, and I ain't gonna die.
It's a 1:15. I'm a little drunk and I need you now. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson. They say, pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere